This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne.
Also being heard on translator K266CC Cheyenne at 101.1 FM.
What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk Today. As we've been gone for the last couple of days, our program being brought to you by Taco John's of Cheyenne, Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service over on Highway 30. Yes, still having the hail of a sale going on. Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Del Range, where they offer to you during the colder time of year their hot chicken tortilla soup. And, of course, they're with a little bit of, it's got a little pizzazz to it, that peppermint chocolate chip milkshake. Ooh, it is so good. Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Del Range, serving up 3 squares 6 days a week. Key of Cheyenne. Got a great lineup of 19s already arriving, but the 18s got to go. So if you are looking for a place that is wheeling and dealing, then you need to stop on by at Nationwide. See my good friend AJ along with Greg Miller over at Key of Cheyenne and the entire Key of Cheyenne crew. Platte Valley Bank times two banking locations for you to serve you. On the east side, catch them right there at the corner of College and Pershing. The regional location on the north side over on Vandehei. Medicap Pharmacy for all your pharmaceutical needs. Same location as always, and a convenient drive-thru for you as well. Medicap Pharmacy, Bluegrass Circle, next door to Texas Roadhouse. Lennox Auto Body with 2 locations. Heather and the great staff invite you to come on by to get it repaired. Autos and trucks right there on Dunn Avenue. And you get it detailed and auto glass work as well done on your vehicle over on Pershing Boulevard. First Tier Bank with the banking location for you at 1508 Stillwater Avenue. And again, they're open Monday through Friday. Talk to them about their special CD rates with great annual percentage yields. Mondelo's Pizzeria directly across the street, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons. So you want Paisan cuisine that is at its best, the way it tastes like in the old country, then I guarantee you, you're going to head on over to Joe's Place because it is meals that are absolutely fabulous over at Mondelo's Pizzeria. Mars Plumbing and Heating, 1515 Logan Avenue. Again, don't freeze this winter. Make sure they come on by and check out your heating unit. And we always get our program underway with our great friends Will and the gang over at Pepsi of Cheyenne. Here's Nick to tell us what's happening on the scoreboard.
Well, what happened last night as we were out in Scottsbluff, Nebraska with LCCC men as they took on the number 16 ranked Western Nebraska Cougars there at the Cougar Palace. It was a 101-76, at least contest in favor of the Cougars. So LCCC falls once again, at least on the road against Western Nebraska. They will have a game coming up, though, this Friday. You can hear live on 1480 KRAE. They will take on the Power to Play Elite here at the RAC once again to wrap up at least the 2018 calendar year. Again, that game coming up this Friday. Women will also, too, be at home. They will have the game earlier, at least a contest earlier, taking on Otero Junior College over at the RAC. Again, both games here on 1480 KRAE. NHL action for tonight, 4 games on the slate. You will see the Vegas Golden Knights in Brooklyn taking on the New York Islanders at Barclays. Chicago Blackhawks hosting the Pittsburgh Penguins. Philadelphia Flyers, at least in Calgary, taking on the Flames. And the Anaheim Ducks at the Pond Honda Center hosting the Dallas Stars. That's what's happening NHL action for tonight.
On the NBA slate, it will be the Hornets in Charlotte tonight in the Spectrum Center in Charlotte. They will host the Detroit Pistons. Knicks and the Cavaliers in the Quicken Loans Arena. At the Bankers Life Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, the Pacers host the Milwaukee Bucks. It will be the Knicks and the 76ers in the Wells Fargo Center in Philly. The Wizards in the Capital One Arena in D.C., they host the Boston Celtics, Trailblazers, and the Grizz in the FedEx Forum. In the Smoothie King Center, the Pelicans and the Thunder for tonight. Hawks and the Mavericks in American Airlines Center, Dallas, Texas. Heat and the Jazz in the Vivint Smart Home Arena in Salt Lake City. The Golden One Center in Sacramento, California. The Kings of Sacramento hosting the Timberwolves. Warriors have a date with the Raptors tonight in the Oracle Arena. Scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Yo, this is your cup holder talking. You know me, the little round thing between your car seats. Now, listen, we need to talk. Now, I normally have a nice cold bottle of Mountain Dew in me, but at the moment, I'm empty. That's right, no Mountain Dew. Nothing in here but a couple of quarters and a dime. A fully capable cup holder like me just carrying your loose change, it's embarrassing. Look, I'm not made for loose change. I'm round like a bottle of Mountain Dew. Glistening, cold, and delicious. I'm made to keep Mountain Dew within reach at all times, so you're never far from that incredible bold citrus kick whenever you need it. Just inches from your hand. So find a store already, grab some Dew, toss it back, then place that bottle where it belongs, and put that loose change back in your pocket. Mountain Dew. Do the Dew.
You're listening to Cheyenne's new Sports Talk Authority. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today on AM 1480 KRAE.
And welcome to Wyoming Sports Talk Today. Larry Peroletti along with Nick Peroletti, as you had an opportunity, hopefully, to listen to our game call last night from the Cougar Palace.
Or either watch the video uploaded that was late last night around, I do believe, midnight. So it's been available all of today if you want to watch the video rebroadcast. Again, unfortunately, the internet situation out there in Scottsbluff was not ideal. So, again, recorded it. And it's uploaded for your viewing pleasure as much as, again, viewing pleasure on the courtside, at least videotaping. Not the greatest thing on the planet, but it is there either way.
You got people viewing it, so, I mean, that's good.
I'm just saying, it's not great from being up top, so it is, hey, you got an angle of what we saw. There was a lot of bodies blocking out, a lot of, at least, real estate there on the court, so plays at least not available. So
it was an exciting first half last night between the Cougars and the Golden Eagles. And unfortunately, the Golden Eagles in the second half forgot to come out of the locker room, or they didn't bring their shooting shoes with them.
Pretty much.
Again, what I saw last night in that first half, and again, is Western Nebraska a very good basketball team? Absolutely.
They're probably the best in Region 9.
Not going to take anything away from them. But those young men on the LCCC Golden Eagles should look at your video, for example, and watch that first half. Yes, Tyrese Potoma went nuts. He was hitting everything. Threes, and, he was dishing out assists, and they were stealing the basketball. They looked really good as a team.
Yeah.
In the second half, though, there was nobody in support of that first half.
Again, they gave it their all in that first half, and second half coming out.
40 minutes.
Momentum was just a killer.
Not 20 minutes, 40 minutes. But, I mean, this team that Coach Ficka has can't match it with one of the best teams.
And for a half.
Well,
for a half, at least of right now. And again, we will, at least for the men, we'll eventually see Western Nebraska at least come back out here to town over the RAC. I do believe that contest coming up in January. But for right now, this team, again, going through new offense, at least schemed, trying to work with personnel right now, trying to figure out what's going to mesh well. Sure, it did in the first half. They kind of gave it their all. They left it all out in the first half. And then coming up, at least halftime, second half, they had nothing. Well, the tank was empty for Golden Eagles.
The shooting was not. It was subpar.
Shooting was not the greatest also, too, in the first half. I think for LCCC was very fortunate. I think they had a lot of great defensive effort. This is a good defensive team. Offense, they're having struggles. Still from behind the charity stripe when they had an opportunity to shoot free throws, they're still having major difficulties. Point-blank shots, easy opportunities, layups that you're missing on are kind of inexcusable right now at this point in time for LCCC. This offense it has still ways to weigh, at least to get everything kind of squared away right now.
They're not really that good from the outside, as we were spoiled last year with four guys that can drill it from the outside. And
this is a team that's not afraid to shoot from three, but we saw many opportunities.
But they're not even close on some of those shots.
No, again, hitting front end of that basket. You saw many opportunities, and I think just to name a few of, for whatever reason, Hayden Collier, he had a few open looks and kind of just shook it away, passed it along at least around the perimeter for whatever reason. He had the open shot. Same with a few other players. They had open looks, but they just decided not to take that three. They're timid. They're kind of afraid. They're worried that they're kind of stuck in that mental state of, why even bother shooting it? It's not going to go in.
And again, it's like you have to look inside yourself. And it's like a baseball player. You go into a slump. It happens. You can sit there and mope about it, and you can whine and cry about it or be angry at yourself. But what you should be doing is, today especially, you should be in the gym and banging about, again, it's like if you miss 10 free throws, you go to the free throw line, you shoot about 100 free throws.
Yeah.
You should be outside the arc right now and going around every part of the arc today if you are expected to be an outside shooter, and going out there and working on your craft.
Yeah.
And don't sit there and feel sorry for yourself, because you know what? As an announcer, I'm not going to feel sorry for you, because I'm going to tell them, you passed up the shot. Why? It was wide open. Why did you pass it up? And again, your three is important. But
your three is important against a team that is lights out from behind the three in Western Nebraska, who was not afraid.
And we're not going to pick on one guy. What we're going to say is this team needs to get better from the outside. Bottom line, Tyrese Potomac can't carry the team on his back.
He's trying.
Zovko,
he's trying.
He likes to shoot from back there. He's okay. Spragon is
there you go.
Okay, but he, kind of lets up on his shot a little bit. We got to get, these guys all got to get on the same page. I think Coach Fick has said it best. This is a good basketball team. When they finally emerge as a team and start playing that team game,
and right now
they're going to be tough.
Right now they are, along with also Coach Fick, trying to figure out what is going to mesh well right now, and it's not there. And it's right now where Coach Fick wanted this team to be gelling around this time, getting ready for January, at least getting ready for Region 9 North action, where, hey, it matters towards postseason action. This is a team that has a lot of struggles right now, has a lot of difficulties, has a lot of mental kind of miscues as well, where they need to start getting over this, realize that they're not in high school, that they're playing college ball. They're going to be facing against college athletes. They're facing against nearly grown men. What we saw last night from Western Nebraska, these guys were big. They were strong. They were fast. They were physical as well.
And they were fast. And again, too, guys like David Applegren, he sat here behind the microphone and chatted with us. And again, it's a different game here as opposed to Europe. It's a more, and I think Zovko's also mentioned that too. These guys are finding out how physical it can be, and they need to pony up to the bar and start muscling in there as well. And especially with Applegren, he's 7'1". Mm-hmm. When he matched up with the Rube kid last night.
Yeah,
who's a sophomore. When he matched up with him, he altered a couple, three of Rube's shots, especially in the first half.
A few big rejections, and I think for David, his only issue right now, he is again not going to be aggressive. He's going to at least kind of stall a little bit against those bigger guys, but not do a whole lot. But I think right now, again, he's putting on great defensive efforts, but his issue right now is a little too aggressive on the kind of block shots, the defensive efforts where, again, we're
swatting them away.
We're swatting them back to Western Nebraska. We're swatting them back to the opposing team of just, hey, it's a great stop, fantastic, but it's landing back in their hands, and they're cashing in on that would-be rejection. And again, not to put it all on David also, too, there are other teammates around that need to realize of, hey, the ball's in the air. Let's get that defensive rebound and move it back down the court for an offensive opportunity. So for LCCC, though, again.
You're saying something without saying it, Nick. That entire team. And again, first off, you tip your cap to Tyrese on the job he's doing right now. But, he's still having some problems handling the ball, some turnovers where they picked his pocket last night. This team needs to step up its game, and it needs to go to the next level. It is not JUCO basketball. It's collegiate basketball. And you need, it's not high school anymore. You can't just be a 30-point scorer and worry, that, you're the tallest kid on the team. It's now JUCO college basketball. And everything your offense and defense has to be on par.
Yeah.
And that's what I think this team needs to do. It needs a good awakening.
Well,
to be a very good basketball
team. We
team.
could spend so much time on this, and granted, we'll eventually talk with Coach Ficka again. Not this week, as we will not have a coaches show, as we got high school. We got high school hoops coming up at least tomorrow night. Not going to go into the details of that right now, but again, for LCCC, they lost to a very good outfit on the road again, a number 16 ranked national team that is Western Nebraska. So give them respect. They gave them a full half, at least made it entertaining, and then it just got out of hand in the second half where LCCC just came out flat and cold, just to put it simple, against those Cougars. But again, that was a game that we saw last night. There's plenty to talk about, as well as we'll kind of at least take this chance to transition as we got.
Well, you were in the Bay Area. You were in the South Bay Area.
Yeah, South Bay.
You know, you were at Levi Stadium. In
I figure we say that when we get into Vance Joseph's press conference, which we will have as well. But, I guess we'll get into it right now. But, again, to recap of what happened, again, we've been away for a long time. I've been on the road for about the past, 5 or 6 days. You as well, minus kind of the Sunday and Monday trips that I had. But, 49ers Broncos out there in Levi Stadium, the lowly 49ers who are massively injured. The Broncos who also too came into that contest very injured but had some key players in it. That, if I can take a chance of going, ha, 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 I told you so, the 49ers at home would beat the Broncos. The Broncos, they got problems. They have problems. It's something that is nothing new to me of what I see on my end. Again, Case Keenum. He's not your quarterback that's leading you to a Super Bowl. He is your game manager. He is nothing special. He is not a fourth-quarter comeback guy, and he clearly wasn't against the 49ers. Again, that defense is pretty pathetic. It's not good at all.
Except for Richard Sherman.
He's had his issues as well. Richard Sherman had some careless plays in that contest where Richard Sherman's kind of showing his age, and I understand why the Seahawks got rid of him. He's not the Richard Sherman of what he was against, at least with the Legion of Boom up there in Seattle. But kudos, again, as much as you want to, Nick Mullins. He continues on, again, another near 400-yard passing contest back-to-back against Seattle and now against Denver, against a fairly formidable defense. Again, you still have Von Miller, you still have Bradley Chubb, you still have big names still remaining for that defense across the way for the Denver Broncos. So
but
getting
Chris
that done,
Harris wasn't there. That what I think, and you can say what you want.
I don't think Chris
defense.
Harris, I don't think would have made a whole lot of difference, because what was happening right now is those guys on the inside in the middle there, that would be one Von Miller, some of those middle linebackers, at least some of those linebackers, where you're allowing. There were so many good plays by one George Kittle, tied in for the 49ers, who had a record-breaking, or at least near-record-breaking day. He was only short by just a few yards. They just found a little inside route and kept on passing to George Kittle. And at least in that first half, led to a 20-0 lead at halftime against the Denver Broncos. It was something where that's Von Miller's territory.
Have you noticed, and speaking of Kittle, but have you noticed in the National Football League, Ertz at Philly, I can't think of, is it Kelsey at Kansas City? Mm-hmm. Have you noticed that the tight ends are starting to be the big play guys? Even Gronk.
Gronk always has been. Even go back to the old 49er days of Vernon Davis. He was a big target as well.
You go back even before that with Russ Francis when they brought him in from New England.
I'm talking of recent years, but again, tight ends they're becoming a formal, at least, target right now.
Well, again,
and why defenses overlook them?
You got to chuck them down the seam.
And Kittle's been doing this the entire season. How he is not spotlight, how he is not double covered, how he, again, you do not have eyes on this guy. He was wide open on many plays against the Denver Broncos. That's inexcusable. Well, again, Kittle, who is one of the favorite, he's the target right now for the San Francisco 49ers, and he was in that contest, and he burned the Broncos mightily, especially there in that first half against the Denver Broncos. So it's for Vance Joseph, for that coaching crew, it's kind of inexcusable that you allow that to happen again, where you still have a solid core there on the inside, in the middle. You should have stopped them, but you didn't. Right. And again, on my end, I'm happy. As a 49er fan, they did what I expected them to do. At the beginning of the season, I said, hey, Broncos probably not going to win this one against the 49ers. They've had struggles in the Bay Area against the 49ers team. If you look back at season, at least the series history, they've had troubles there in San Francisco. Again, that goes back to the 80s.
Back to the Candlestick.
Yeah, 90s. So, when again, those teams were very, very good, but it's something where this loss for the Broncos, it shouldn't have happened.
Well, the loss by the Broncos.
Even I was surprised that the Broncos lost. I went in fully backing my team, at least with the 49ers, right. But there was no chance in hell that the Broncos should have walked away with a loss. The 49ers have no one on there. Again, you got your third-string backup quarterback right now with Nick Mullins.
The thing is, with that loss by the Niners, I think you can almost stick a fork in them. I think the Broncos now, being under the Mendoza line, if anybody had playoff hopes for the Broncos.
Oh, no, this is basically the Broncos kept true to what I've said earlier this season. They're a 500 team, if that. They're not anything special.
And let's see, who do they have left? They've got the Browns.
I don't think they win. I don't know. I don't think so.
A lot of people are liking the Browns all of a sudden. You know, again, they are.
The Browns are a team that shows heart, like the 49ers, where they're not a roll over and die team. They're showing that, hey, we're going to compete with you. We might get blown out in a few contests, but we're going to keep pace. We're going to try and beat you.
Then they got to go to the Raiders, and look what the Raiders did this weekend. They came back and beat the Steelers in the Oco. So, and then you wrap up against the Chargers in Los Angeles.
That ain't going to happen.
Excuse me, they're going to be in Denver.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the Chargers are going to be trying to go for home field advantage. That could be a game that gets them into the home field advantage. So it's just not looking good for Denver and any type of playoff aspirations. Of course, too, you lose Emmanuel Sanders, and and I think you have another wide receiver that's even gone from probable to doubtful for this weekend. So the Blue Cross list is not looking too good right now for the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, get it on. Yeah, he's feel my pain with the San Francisco 49ers, where again that whole team is injured. But at home, in front of a very sparse crowd there at Levi Stadium.
Well, wait a minute, I thought it was packed according to one report.
What one report?
Well, didn't you say ESPN said there was?
Well, ESPN's going to say whatever, and who knows? At least calculation so far of the attendance there at Levi Stadium says that thing was 100% full. That thing was lucky enough to be half full.
Right.
There were, again, good outings by at least Denver fans. There were a lot of orange and blue out there, but also, too, there was a lot of red and gold as well supporting the 49ers, but there was no way in hell that stadium was remotely even near.
Are we seeing?
And that's even with people standing.
Are we seeing more and more fans because of the Tampa Bay crowd? That game with Tampa Bay in Tampa? I don't think that thing was 40% full. There was a lot of red seats, and Tampa wore the red uniforms, but I'm telling you, football interest in the National Football League right now is way down. Not because your teams are out of it.
Kind of. I would say that.
Yeah, but you still go to the game. I mean, you got season tickets, Nick.
Yeah.
You're going to burn, $200 worth of tickets? Because these are good seats. Matter of fact, when I was watching on Sunday, it's like these are prime seats and people are not in them. What the hell?
Yeah.
So this is why I'm kind of mad at Vince McMahon, because he has a prime opportunity to go head-to-head with the National Football League, and he's going to go spring. And I told you we were coming home on the bus.
I don't think it's possible. It's not possible though to go head to head.
Spring football will not succeed. I'm going to tell you right now, and I would send it in a memo to Vince McMahon. It will not succeed. Yes,
well, obviously he's got people behind him. He's got analysts.
How many times? This will be the fourth league, Nick. Again, useful WFL. All right, and the Extreme Football League. So this is going to be the fourth attempt at it. It doesn't fly.
You don't know that. Again, going 2020, who knows what will happen. At this point in time, our NFL fans starved for something that's going to be different. Again, what the XFL is not the NFL. It is saying, hey, we're a league that's completely different than what anyone has ever done. They tried to do that in 2001. Granted, it kind of blew up in various ways on them, and again, situations that were out of their hands as well, but they were very innovative. That's what the XFL 2.0 is trying to do here, of saying, we're not the NFL. We're not that style of football. We're going back to its grassroots. We're trying to be innovative. We're trying to speed up the game. We're trying to make it more entertaining. It's all about you, the fans, to at least enjoy, make it family friendly, family cost effective as well too. Instead of paying, $200 for cheap seats there again to see 49ers, Broncos, two teams that are kind of out of it, have no playoff implications at this point in time, or again with the XFL. You want to bury them so bad for whatever reason, but give it a shot. I think right now the XFL is in the prime time to take advantage of this. As we also, too, speaking of time, need to get a break. But,
okay, we'll take a quick break here, but I'm gonna say it right now, and I may not be around in the year 2020. I hope I am to see this, because I'm going to make that prediction, and you can write it down today on December 12th. That the XFL will fail in spring. It'll be a one-year league. It might make it 2, but it's going to fail again because fan support will not support it.
Your predictions are so well as we go to our picks now, and who's losing?
You're a game ahead. Well, I'm not afraid to pick some games.
I'm just saying, you, Mr. Prediction, have been so wrong on how many things.
I think I will be right. I will be right. This is the majority of the country.
This is the prime time. This is probably the best kind of position for the XFL to take advantage of, at least putting up a league, competing with the NFL, doing spring ball as well. Because again, fans, they're clearly not showing up to watch the NFL. Are they going to tune in for Canadian football? Are they tuning in for the AAF? I doubt it. Hey, XFL, they're going, hey, we're pro football. We're doing something different.
Yeah, well,
we're all about you.
You try to beat Major League Baseball. You try to beat the NBA and the national.
I think they can.
Nope.
All right.
Nope, not going to happen. All right, we need to take a time out. When we come back, what are we doing? You set it up for me because you're in charge of the program today.
No, I don't really know.
Do we want to check in with Vance Jospeh and his?
I guess we might as well.
All right. Well, we will.
I was trying to save that for some other time, but you wanted to transition. But okay.
Well, I think we want to keep it in the football mode, don't we?
Might as well now.
All right. Well, let's keep it in the football mode. We will check in with Vance Joseph's press conference after these words right here in 1480 KRAE.
Sleeker and longer with a wider stance, the 2019 Kia Rio was designed to break the rules and turn heads. AJ Miller here for Kia of Cheyenne. The 2019 Kia Rio has what you need without paying too much. Save even more on the 2019 Kia Rio during our Light Up the Holidays sales event going on now. Standard technology includes Bluetooth wireless with steering wheel mounted buttons, touchscreen audio system, rear camera display, and more. Come by and take advantage of some of the year's best offers, or go to KiaofCheyenne.com and we'll make it easy.
Due to our stormy season this summer, Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service is offering you a hail of a deal on a wide variety of travel trailers, including toy haulers. Get up to an additional 50% off MSRP on Jolly Rogers' already low prices. Check out their new and used inventory. Damaged or not, you can still travel in style. Call Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service today, your exclusive Jayco dealer, at 634-8457. See them at 6102 U.S. Highway 30 or go to JollyRogersRV.com. Christmas memories come alive when you shop at family-owned and operated Riverbend Nursery and Stone Company. Right now, you can select your favorite Christmas tree from the enormous selection of fresh-cut trees, ranging from 3 to 9 feet, live container trees from 3 to 7 feet, and the grandest of all, the fresh-cut cathedral trees, ranging from 10 to 13 feet. Shop for your Christmas tree today, indoors and out of the cold, at Riverbend Nursery and Stone Company. The sights and the sounds of the Christmas season are awaiting you today on North Yellowstone Road in Cheyenne. Remember, gift certificates are available too.
Shopping for the golfer on your Christmas list is really easy when you stop into the Airport Golf Shop or the Prairie View Golf Shop. Right now, enjoy savings up to 50% off on selected items throughout, and remember, gift certificates are always available. Or talk with Mike and his staff about golf repair or re-gripping the clubs for next season's play. From golf balls, apparel to golf clubs and more, do your holiday shopping for the golfer today at the Airport Golf Shop at 4801 Central Avenue or the Prairie View Golf Shop at 3601 Windmill Road in Cheyenne.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be mostly cloudy with highs around 43 and winds out of the west at 20 to 30 miles per hour. For tonight, it'll be mostly cloudy once again with a chance of snow showers with lows around 17 and winds out of the north at 20 to 25 miles per hour. On Thursday, it'll be sunny with highs around 34, and on Thursday night, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 22.
When it comes to sports talk in Cheyenne, it's a whole new ballgame. Let's play ball! You're listening to Wyoming Sports Talk today, and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Only really one concern is Isaac Yidam, corner. He had a right shoulder separation. He's day-to-day, so we'll see if he progresses and if he can play on Saturday. Obviously, being a short week, it's going to be tough. He went back into the game and played with the Hornets, so he's a tough kid, but we'll see how the week goes. Outside of that, just questions, please.
Vance, you mentioned third down last night as being a struggle. You needed an average of 7 yards on third down.
Yeah.
What can the play calling change on early downs that?
Well, yeah, not only play calling, but I think running the football better. You know, we didn't run the football well yesterday. They really beat us up front. So, you know, our success on offense is really based through the running game. You know, and that was slow coming yesterday, so it affected our entire day. You know, first, second, obviously third downs being long. And that being said, we went for a bunch of fourth downs because we were down by, 2 or 3 scores, and we converted 5 out of 7 of the fourth downs, and I think 2 out of 15 on the third down. So running the football is our way of playing offense, you know, but didn't happen yesterday.
You said yesterday no excuses because of injury. Where do you think you felt Chris's absence?
Well, obviously losing a guy like Chris, a Pro Bowl type of corner, I mean, it's going to hurt you. I think it hurt us more moving Justin to nickel and, having more moving pieces in the back end, but absolutely no excuses. You know, it happened against Cincinnati and we played through it. So, you know, wouldn't have a reason why. But, you know, when you lose some of your best players, it does affect you. You know, it creates moving pieces. You know, as simple as that. But we have no excuses for yesterday.
How hard will it be to bounce back from this, not let it linger, especially with a short week?
We've been here before, you know. So, you know, I don't see our team not preparing to play our best football on Saturday. You know, and this is not foreign to us. You know, so, you know, we'll see how the week goes. But, you know, we have a good locker room. We have good coaches, and guys want to win, you know, and we're in it still. You know, we have to obviously win out. It's a must-win game on Saturday. It's going to be a must-win game for the next 3 weeks. You know, we understand that. And it's been that way. You know, we hadn't talked about that, but it's been that way for the last month, a month and a half. So, you know, it's not new to us, and we'll play. No question.
How is Chris progressing in this recovery? I mean, is there any chance he could return?
Well, I mean, he's progressing. It's a broken leg, Nikki. So I mean, it's a healing process. It's more about that than it is his rehab. It just takes time for the leg to heal. He had a scan this morning and it's healing, but it's still a small break in his leg, and the soreness is going away. But you know, it just takes time for the bone to heal, and it's really simple.
Coach, you weren't able to run the ball the way you wanted.
Right.
But with the lack of downfield strikes, is that a function of no manual, their coverage? Obviously, 4.4 yards per attempt, that wasn't the idea.
Yeah. We had some chances down the field. We didn't hit them. You know, we missed 3 or 4 chances to make some big plays in the pass game. This defense that we played, they were going to be single high all day, cover 3 or cover 1 all day. So, you know, we knew going into the game, running the football was going to be tough because of loaded boxes. You know, so you have to make plays in a pass game versus those kind of defense to kind of soften them up a little bit. And we didn't make those plays, you know, and they were there, and we didn't make them.
Do you think that's because their defense is because Lindsey was someone that they concentrated on?
No, it's their defense. You know, that's Seattle, that's the Chargers. So it was our 3rd time seeing this type of defense, Mike. So, you know, it wasn't any surprises, you know, of what the scheme presented. They really, up front, beat us. You know, that was the bottom line. You know, I mean, that D-line played very well, and we didn't play as well with the offensive line.
Case handled the pressure? It seemed like he was under pressure quite a bit from that D-line.
The pressure up their D-line.
Yeah, just...
Case was fine. I thought Case has played his best football the last month. Yesterday, he was a little cautious with the ball, and the bottom line, we've got 3 weeks to play. He's got to make more plays, and sometimes taking some chances, allow you to make more plays. It's going to be turnover, so he can't worry about that. You can't play this game perfect, but, I want Case to be more aggressive, especially down the seams, of those cover 3 defenses. That's where the soft spots are, so he's got to be aggressive down the seams and not worry about making mistakes.
What do you need to see from Brandon Marshall over the next couple of days to have him play center?
He's trying. He's tried for 2 weeks, and he tried to practice Friday. It looked better, so hopefully it looks better this week and he can go for us. But he wants to go. He's dying to go for us.
Where's Brock at? I know you were hopeful he was going to play on Sunday, and then he didn't get to practice.
Yeah, I'm hopeful he's going Saturday. Obviously, it's been 2 weeks with this injury. The pain's going away some. So he'll practice tomorrow. So we'll see where he's at. But I'm hopeful he plays on Saturday, especially with Isaac's injury. We need him to play.
Right. And how much of a step can Jamar Taylor take from joining the team last week to
help? It'll help. Obviously having 2 weeks of practice versus 1. He's a veteran player. He played yesterday. He was fine. But having Brock's going to be key for us this week.
When you watched the film, what did you see with Kittle then in the first half? You thought you gave us an explanation yesterday, but what did you see?
Yeah, we had a plan, to obviously stop him. But the first play was simply, he was the 4th option, on the pivot route, and he ran out of the tackles. We missed 3 tackles, and it was, I think, a 60-plus yard reception. The second one was in blown coverage. We're in quarters. It was a play-action jet sweep over route by him, very simple play. We dropped the coverage there and the sail route. And so he had 3 plays for about 160 yards, Troy. So it wasn't a 15 play, 15 catch day. It was really 3 plays for a ton of yards, which we can't have. But it was really, we dropped coverage on the guy, 2 out of 3 times. The third one was a good play call. They caught us in a soft zone, and he outran the hook player to the 7 route. Great call versus our defense we had called, but the other 2 were just blown.
You're on your slow starts. Do you have to maybe look at your script or make up a script? Is it coaching? Is it the players' execution?
It's all of us. We got to obviously coach better early and play better early, Mike. In the last month, we've had chances to keep drives alive, and we haven't. Missing throws, drops on 3rd down, play calling. So it's everything, But, we've scored, I think 3 points in the last, 5 first quarters. That can't happen.
You talked last night about Vaughn and the offsides penalties. Those big plays he gets are from timing up the snap. How do you balance those with him?
You don't. You can't do it. Watch the ball and get off on the ball. Vaughn's a gifted pass rusher, so he doesn't have to cheat the count to go. And that drive before half killed us. We had 4 penalties, and we had, I think, 3 offsides and 2 other holding penalties. So we had 5 penalties in one drive, which gave him the second touchdown of the half, which was a killer for us. So he can't do it. He's a gifted guy, so he can go on a snap and still win his one-on-ones.
That's why you think Case is being cautious. Is it the youth at receiver? Is it the fact that he had so many turnovers early in the season?
No, I think it's a combination of Case, wants to be safe with the ball, and obviously, seeing different looks. But in my opinion, obviously being safe with the ball sometimes, it allows you to have great numbers in that category, but as far as making plays on the field, you can't be safe doing that. So he's got to take more chances down the middle of the field, and he would tell you that.
Is there any disconnect on that same question? Is there any disconnect with his tight ends? Because it seemed like he was meshing well with Jeff Harmon. We haven't really seen that since Harmon's been down.
Well, I can't say that. Those guys are running for him and they're getting open for him. He's got to make plays, and obviously it's always, what the play call is versus, what he sees.
After a loss to look at the positives, but were there any, or what were some positives?
What were the positives? I think the second half was positive. Defensively, we gave up, I think, 70 yards total. And offensively, we finally got some things going and scored some points. That was the positive. But, we can't start that slow. I mean, that was a huge, huge game for us. And we came out offensively really slow. And obviously, defensively, gave Kittle a huge first half. The second half, the same plan. It worked. They tried going to him 7 or 8 more times, and it didn't work for him. So the plan we had in place was a decent plan. The first half, we just didn't get it done, all of us.
Dealing with the injury, Trey Brock just coming back from an injury. Do you think you'll have to bring on somebody or bring in somebody else?
No, we're fine. We have the guys here. We got Jamar. We've got Langley here. So hopefully Brock's going this week, and we'll have the same deal we had last week. We'll have 4 healthy corners to play.
Patrick's catches yesterday. What stood out about him taking advantage of this opportunity?
Absolutely. I mean, he's a grinder. I mean, he also played on kickoff for us. He was our gunner. So, I mean, this guy's a good football player, and the more chances he gets, the more he will perform, in my opinion.
I haven't looked at it yet, but just can you go through your experiences with Baker Mayfield at the Senior Bowl?
Yeah, I mean, Baker, he was a great guy to be around. I mean, very confident, obviously. I mean, he's a winner. He had great arm talent for a smaller quarterback. He has a big arm. He plays to that. I've watched a couple of his games this morning. I mean, he is making plays, and he's playing really well right now. He looks comfortable. He has a good roster around him. This roster is loaded. They've got 10 first-round picks, and offensively, Chubb is playing out of his mind. Okay, so he's got some weapons around him, but he is playing with great confidence right now.
Did he surprise you at all at the Super Bowl, Baker? Did he surprise you at all?
No, not at all. I mean, he was very, very sharp from a football IQ perspective, and his arm talent again, Nicky, was special, really special.
There was one play on the last touchdown drive. I think it was Deshaun catch right on the sideline. They ruled him out of bounds, but the replay showed he was inbounds. Did your staff not get? It would have been inside the 10.
Yeah.
But you didn't throw the challenge flag, did you not?
Yeah, we didn't see it. It happened really fast. I watched this morning. I couldn't tell from the coach's copies, but I couldn't see it. It happened so fast we didn't challenge it.
Vance, I know you're focused on what's going on here, but with some of the other, high-profile losses around the league, is that maybe encouraging? This could be a pretty wild 3 weeks, and if you win it,
it's going to be crazy, So, I mean, I'm really focused on our next 3 weeks, but it's going to come down to the wires, no doubt. So I think, obviously, yesterday was disappointing, to play that way. I mean, that's a good football team. Obviously, they're playing hard, but for us to play that way in the first half, it's disappointing. But it's going to be a fun 3 weeks. We have to obviously play our best ball the next 3 weeks to have a chance to get in. But it's possible. And that makes it exciting for me and for the football team.
Simplify your holiday shopping and help you score a $5 TJ bonus card. First, the shopping. Need something for your coworkers? Give them Taco John's gift cards. Don't know what to get your BFF? Give them Taco John's gift cards. Mom, dad, brother, sister? 4 words. Taco John's gift cards. Now the $5 bonus card. That's simple too. Just buy $25 in TJ gift cards and you get a $5 bonus card for you. It's going to be a very Merry Crunchmas. Only at Taco John's.
Cheyenne Regional Cancer Services now offers genetic risk assessment and counseling that may help determine your chance of being diagnosed with cancer. If you have a personal or family history of cancer, especially cancer diagnosed under age 50, you may benefit from a consultation to look out for your now and your family's future. For more information about our genetic risk cancer assessment and counseling service, please call 307-634-9311.
Capital Lumber is number one in Cheyenne. Are you listening? We're all the lumber store you'll ever need.
For over 50 years, Capital Lumber Company has offered a full line of hardware and lumber selections. Plenty of materials, even for the do-it-yourselfer. So talk with one of the many experts today at Capital Lumber Company. Capital Lumber Company is the best in the region, and they are your true value hardware store. Lumber One in Cheyenne. Capital Lumber Company at 1222 Dunn Avenue.
You can actually get something good for your health at a drive-thru window. When you order your next prescription from Medicap Pharmacy, call ahead and use our drive-thru window. Or you can call for free delivery. You can even log on to Medicap.com and order a prescription refill. Your Medicap pharmacist will call you to make arrangements for pickup or delivery.
Medicap Pharmacy will always make time for you. Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
Hey Cheyenne, here's a great bargain for all your rifle, pistol, and shotgun needs. Rocky Mountain Gun Trader, 2470 Delrange Boulevard, has a basement full of used items and overstock goods, including knives, holsters, ammo, cleaning, and other gun accessories at 20 to 50% off. Yes, 20 to 50% off. That's in addition to their outstanding array of new rifles, ammo, and other weapons. So check out Cheyenne's top gun store at the corner of Windmill and Delrange. Family-owned Rocky Mountain Gun Trader. There are a lot of things that can go wrong with your vehicle, and most of it is a minor problem. And John at Shine Auto Repair and Service knows the right way to get you back on track. So with temperatures heading south, now's the perfect time to winterize your car or truck. This can be done with a simple oil change, maybe a tune-up, checking the thermostat, brakes, and shocks. It's the little and important repairs that Cars has performed on all makes of vehicles now for over 25 years to keep you motoring along in any season. For an appointment, call 632-0498 or stop on by at 604 West Lincoln Way. Shine Auto Repair and Service, open Monday through Friday.
For 56 years, 1480 KRAE has been Cheyenne's home for good times and great oldies. Also with KYY FM, we are Cheyenne and the area's only locally owned AM/FM combo radio stations. Add that to the addition of 3 FM radio translators to serve the area with programming from both KRAE and KYY, and that equals a lot of bang for your local advertising dollar. Radio, yesterday and today, still works. For more information, contact Don Morris at 307-637-0301.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be mostly cloudy with highs around 43 and winds out of the west at 20 to 30 miles per hour. For tonight, it'll be mostly cloudy once again with a chance of snow showers with lows around 17 and winds out of the north at 20 to 25 miles per hour. On Thursday, it'll be sunny with highs around 34, and on Thursday night, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 22.
Tired of lazy and predictable sports talk radio? We know you are. This is Cheyenne's new sports radio home. It's Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk Today. As we just heard from Vance Jospeh, next hour we're going to get a chance to go to the hoops side, and we'll hear from
Hoops.
Alan Edwards and
Hoops
hockey.
and hockey as well, too, as it is Cheyenne Stampede Coach's Show every Wednesday, at least tentative schedule for 2018, as we're going to have to adjust it in 2019, because guess what? LCCC gets to go into Wednesday contest, so we'll have to adjust that. But for now, it's today. It's Wednesday at 4:30 till 5, so we will talk with head coach Neil Breen, discuss the weekend that was against Ogden, preview Steamboat Springs coming into town, as well, too, as we'll talk with a player as well, too, of the Cheyenne Stampede, as we do exclusively only here on 1480 KRAE, Wyoming Sports Talk Today. Do also, too, want to remind folks coming up tomorrow, no show. This is the only show for this week, as we've had basketball yesterday. We'll have high school hoops coming up tomorrow, LCCC on Friday, but talk about high school hoops for tomorrow. Myself and Chris Polton, the tag team champs, back at it again this season, as we will be down in Greeley, at least Greeley West, as they will play host to Cheyenne South, both the boys and the girls. Girls up first. I do believe that's a 6 o'clock tip-off, and then boys after that game wraps up at 7:30. Pre-game here on 1480 KRAE at about 5:40-ish. Tentative schedule for that, where you can listen again, 1480 AM, 101.1 FM, 1480krae.com, and video live streaming, fingers crossed. I would assume they have good internet service down there in Greeley, but again, on Periscope and the 1480 KRAE YouTube side. So, again, 5 different ways to tune in for high school hoops. Again, first contest for us, as it is the Greeley West tournament happening down there starting tomorrow. Central will also to be in that contest, at least in that tournament, but we will not be able to cover Central this time around.
Okay.
Oh, again, as you don't know how to promote, as you don't know how to do anything.
I know.
I'd
rather, right now, instead of listening to you, I'd rather be at the Oracle for
get out of here.
For
Leave.
Boogie bobblehead night tonight, because the first 10,000 fans to tonight's game gets a Boogie Cousins bobblehead doll. Of course, Boogie hasn't played 1 minute yet with the Golden State Warriors. So I'm excited. All right, let's see what else has gone on here.
Great thing to say.
Let's see what else has gone on here. Since we last chatted with you, no surprise to me, Kyler Murray won the Heisman. Now the question.
I think we've already mentioned that, but okay.
No, we didn't mention it.
Unless that was something on. I think maybe I mentioned that on the road trip back. I can't remember.
But my question is to you. I'm wondering, because this guy's a phenomenal athlete. Could he be the next Bo? Could he be the next Deion Sanders?
He's trying to go both route of football and baseball. Hey, I say go for it.
I say go for it, yeah.
Absolutely, if you have that capability. Not saying that he doesn't, but you also wonder in this kind of day and age of just how around the clock is, especially for these professional sports of, well, no, in the off season, here it is, summertime, we don't want you playing baseball. We need you to focus on whatever NFL team you are drafted by. Or, hey, baseball says, we got an off season schedule that's pretty compact. We want you lifting.
That's why
you're not
doing
doing NFL.
Agent. And the agent basically tells ownership what his player is going to do. Okay, this is the new day and age where, hey, my guy will play for you, but this is what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, and again, I tell you, you haven't seen the guy on the diamond yet. And wait till you see him playing baseball. I've seen some of the highlights of this guy. He's pretty doggone good.
Well, he's obviously a great athlete, doing it for both, at least for the University of Oklahoma. So, again, winning the Heisman, competing down there with the Sooners. Could he? Possibly. Do I think he will? Probably not. Again, how many of these players we see? Again, Colin Kaepernick was a two-sport athlete, again, where he was a very good pitcher, Nevada, football player as well, too, with the Wolfpack. Look at Russell Wilson as well. He was out of Wisconsin, drafted to go play. I do believe he was drafted by the Colorado Rockies, wasn't he? Or at least it was the Rockies or either the Texas Rangers. But, again, look at Russell Wilson. Well, he had the opportunity to play both, and he goes, I'll focus on, playing NFL, which obviously has kind of paid out for him as with one Super Bowl championship for Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. I just don't see it in this day and age where, again, where we're at this constant 24/7, 365 kind of training regimen where you are trying to get bigger, faster, stronger in whatever sport you are playing. I don't think there's enough time. I don't think anything, even if you got the best agent in the world, whoever that may be, I don't think there's going to be enough of that convincing to say, yeah, he's able to do it. I think these ownerships, these teams are going to be selfish enough and go and say, it's not going to work for us. We need you here 365 to get better, to get bigger, and help out this team and focus only on us. Right. I don't think it's going to happen. I really don't.
Well, it remains to be seen. I would like to see the guy. I dig it when I see these two-sport athletes. And again,
you don't see him a whole lot now.
Well, no,
you really don't.
You haven't seen it since Neon Deion. But Bo, if he wouldn't have got hurt on that one hit, imagine this guy's careers. Both on the football.
That's all you can do is imagine, and what we have is what happened.
And
again, maybe that's probably put a sour taste in a lot of these two-sport athletes of kind of convincing them of maybe it's not worth it.
Oh, Bo got hurt in football. He didn't get hurt in baseball.
Okay, but again, that takes away where, all right, I got hurt in one sport. Well, it's now affecting both sports. Again, granted, you can get injured in your one sport, and that takes care of your career. But I don't know, maybe it kind of sours on, well, if I just focus on one, maybe I don't have that freak accident in the other sport or something. Or, again, maybe it's some sort of mentality. I don't know. But is it going to happen? I don't think in this day and age where ownership is going to keep you exclusive. And, again, if he turns out to be a stud, if he comes out in the NFL draft, #1 overall quarterback, and goes to the Raiders, goes to whoever's going to be #1, or at least picks him up high in the draft, I don't think they're going to allow it to go and, yeah, you can go play baseball. No, you're our franchise quarterback. We need you. We need you to be the leader on and off this field. We need you the entire time. And again, you also got to realize that these players as well, whether it's going to, whether it was Josh Allen, you look at a few others, at least big names, they got to do off-season things as well too for these teams, of appearances, community events. They gotta breathe their team. At least they gotta breathe and live that team's expectations that entire year.
Right. Well, if we also missed out too that it was announced by the today's game committee in Major League Baseball, which Tony La Russa, the Hall of Fame skipper, was part of. That they announced that Lee Smith and Harold Baines will be heading to the Hall of Fame this year, and everybody's kind of. See, this is what makes me mad about Harold Baines. I think has numbers to get him into the Hall, but if Harold Baines is going to get in the Hall, I think Todd Helton has those same type of numbers to get him into the Hall too. He won't get it on the ballot. I think it's going to be one of these type of committees that are going to get Todd in there, maybe later on.
I think eventually Todd gets voted in. He's not a first.
I would hope
he's
so.
not a first ballot Hall of Famer.
No, he's got too much competition. But anyway, La Russa has been taking a lot of heat because they're saying the deck was stacked for Harold Baines on the committee. For example, you had La Russa on there. You had longtime White Sox owner Jerry Reinsdorf, where Baines played the bulk of his career.
All right.
Robbie Alomar was on there. Pat Gillick, who was the general manager of Baltimore, where Baines also played at. So, you know what? I think you look.
Does that tell me anything? Does that say it was stacked? Who cares?
The numbers tell me what Baines did in his career. I mean, the guy had over 2,800 hits. So I don't have a problem with him getting
that's
into the
decent
Hall.
enough numbers. Again, you're missing past. Again, the few select that hit 3,000. Again, I think that's solid enough to get into the Hall of Fame. I think that's respectable enough.
At least,
and I think, and again, to where at least how long it took. Yeah. I think that's fine.
Yeah, he's been out of baseball for a long time. And Lee Smith also, who was, again, the old throwback type of reliever. You know what? If you think back, and especially he made his mark as the Chicago Cub. But Lee Smith, when he was out on the field, think back in those days, where we have all these specialists now. Hey, if you needed the guy to go 2 innings, he would. Or 3 innings.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the old throwback type of relief pitcher. Hard thrower, and, hey, Skip, you need me to throw another batter? I'm out there for you, So I think those are a couple of good choices. Of course, we'll know the Hall of Fame voting coming up here, and I'll tell you what, this class of 2019, you got some good first timers on there, and Mariano Rivera definitely will be.
He has a guarantee. That is no doubt about it.
And to me, where they didn't give Griffey Jr. that time the unanimous, if Rivera is not a unanimous.
I think you'll have one that's a naysayer. You always are going to have someone.
You have to have somebody who has to get their 5 minutes of fame. But really, Rivera should be.
No, there's no doubt about it. Again, it's same with, in my opinion, with Todd Helton. Probably should be a first ballot Hall of Famer, but he's not going to be. Again, you got to think of the minds of these voters. And again, what is in the mind of these voters who voted away, again, MVP to give it to Giancarlo Stanton, the MVP of at least a player on one of the worst teams in MLB, the Miami Marlins of 2 years ago, and no respect for Nolan Arenado. Again, what's going to stick on their minds? It's Coors Field. Todd Helton played at Coors Field.
Well, they're also going to have to look at what he did at NMU ballparks as well. We got to move along here. We have our Stampede Coaches Show coming up at 4:30. We also will be hearing from Alan Edwards, the head coach at the University of Wyoming, following last night's defeat.
Kind of a depressing post-game conference from Coach Alan Edwards. Again, there was a lot of negatives from last night's contest. Again, an overtime loss against the DU Pioneers in Laramie. So, again, at least there was one major injury from last night's game. And again, Coach Alan Edwards.
And you've also lost a player, too. That has been.
Well, he didn't talk about that because that press release came out way after.
I understand that, but now you are one player even shorter.
It gets the snowball effect gets larger and larger for the Cowboys this season. It's just it's getting uglier and uglier.
The announced crowd was 3,400 last night.
There's no way.
No,
there's no way.
Not even.
It
was pretty hollow.
I'd say half.
It was pretty hollow in the AA.
I'd say half that. There's no way that amount of fans showed up for last night's contest.
Well, again, what you're getting is ticket sales.
Well, I get that. And those ticket sales were not cashed in, or at least did not arrive at the AA last night.
Yeah, they got lost around the milk curtain. All right, we're going to take a timeout. We'll be right back with hour number 2 of Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne. What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
It is hour number 2 of Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's being brought to you by Marv's Plumbing and Heating, 1515 Logan Avenue. Mondello's Pizzeria at 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons. First Tier Bank, 1508 Stillwater Avenue, right across the street from Mondello's Pizzeria. Lennox Auto Body and the Auto Glass and Detail Center, the Auto Body Shop, Auto and Truck Body Shop over on Dunn Avenue. And the Auto Glass and Detail Center can be found over on Pershing Boulevard. Medicap Pharmacy for all your pharmaceutical needs. Same location as always, Bluegrass Circle next door to Texas Roadhouse. Platte Valley Bank, the original location on Vanda High, and the east side location, corner of College and Pershing. Key of Cheyenne on Nation Way, where the 18s must go. The 19s are here, and they're ready to be, test-driven as well. Chick-fil-A at the core. By the way, Key of Cheyenne on Nation Way. Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Del Range, directly across Menards, open 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday. Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service. You can find the great crew over on Highway 30. And Taco John's of Cheyenne, where tonight you might want to load up on 6-pack and a pound, or their ever-delicious nachos, Navidad. Taco John's of Cheyenne.
There you go. I know what you're doing since you kind of owe me for what happened this past weekend. That's your severance pay to me. Just saying. I didn't say much on it, but again, you now know what to do.
If I
continue on, we don't have a lot of time.
If I slap the snot out of you, would that be equal?
That's not even possible because I don't have a cold. So
no, I'll make sure. All right. Anyway, again, Taco John's of Cheyenne. We also get our program started each hour with our scoreboard, and that's being brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne. Here's whatever his name is.
Yeah, whatever you are. Anyways, though, LCCC in action late last night, at least the men. The Golden Eagles took on the number 16 ranked Western Nebraska Cougars there at the Cougar Palace in Scottsbluff, Nebraska. It was a losing effort as the Cougars put up 101 against the Golden Eagles, who only put up 76 in that contest. So for LCCC, they moved to 5-9 overall. They will have a contest coming up this Friday, game we will have here on KRAE, as they will take on the Power to Play Elite once again over at the RAC. Women will also too be in action earlier in the day, or at least just before that contest, as they will play host to Otero Junior College. Again, both games at the RAC. Both games heard here live on 1480 KRAE. Also, as I mentioned earlier, at least tomorrow during at least 6 o'clock tip-off, Cheyenne South boys and girls action here on 1480 KRAE, as well as myself and Chris Bolton will be down at Greeley West. It will be Greeley West hosting Cheyenne South basketball high school hoops finally here on 1480 KRAE. NHL action for tonight. 4 games in action. Vegas Golden Knights in Brooklyn taking on the Islanders of New York at Barclays Center. Chicago Blackhawks at United Center taking on the Pittsburgh Penguins. Philadelphia Flyers traveling to at least Calgary to take on the Flames. And the Anaheim Ducks in Honda Center. They'll play host to the Dallas Stars. That's what's happening NHL action for tonight.
NBA scoreboard. Pistons and the Hornets tonight in the Spectrum Center in Charlotte, North Carolina. The Knicks visit the Cavaliers in Cleveland, Ohio. In Indianapolis at the Bankers Life Fieldhouse, the Pacers and the Bucks will hook up. Nets and the 76ers in the Wells Fargo Center in Philly. Capital One Arena in D.C. hosting the Wizards and the Boston Celtics. Trailblazers and the Grizz will match up in the FedEx Forum in Memphis, Tennessee. In the Smoothie King Center in the Crescent City, it will be the Thunder of OKC taking on the New Orleans Pelicans. Hawks and the Mavericks in the American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas, in the Vivint Smart Home Arena in Salt Lake City, the Jazz and the Heat tonight. Timberwolves will take on the Kings in Sacramento in the Golden One Center, and the Raptors and the Warriors, they will do battle in the Oracle. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Hi, I'm Alex White, tea master at Pure Leaf. When I make tea, everything I know goes into it. You can't be impatient. When I craft Pure Leaf iced tea, I don't take shortcuts, because I want you to have the same amazing taste of iced tea that I do. So I start with fresh picked tea leaves. Then, after they're delicately dried, I blend and brew them at a lower temperature to draw out their unique aromas. And then I taste and fine-tune the blend for a delicious smooth iced tea. I'd love to have you take a sip right now, but that's one thing we can't do over the radio. But you can experience the same delicious taste of Pure Leaf iced tea anywhere you are. I'm Alex White, Pure Leaf Tea Master. Pure Leaf, our thing is tea.
Got something to say? Then get it off your chest right now. Phone lines are open at 307-514-1071. Make your opinion count and call the show. Wyoming Sports Talk today.
We've got a short time to speak here before we will check in the press conference with Alan Edwards. I'm going to do some hoops here real quick as a rumor flying around right now. And will it happen at the end of the season? I don't know, Nick. But sounds like the LA Clippers are starting to beat their tom-toms. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think they brought former GM of the Warriors, Jerry West, in now to run the operation. But the rumor flying around is that the Clippers are planning to be very aggressive during the free agent time to go after Kawhi Leonard, who's now in Toronto.
All right.
And
it was
KD,
doing well with Toronto.
And KD in Golden State. So I don't know what to make of it. Some folks
it's
are
a
saying,
rumor.
Some folks are saying, hey, that's not a bad deal.
It's a rumor.
That's going to cost them a pile of money, though. I mean, are the Clippers that well off to go for it, you think?
Probably not, and I'll leave it at that. Again, it's a rumor. It's hearsay. Who knows what's going to happen in the offseason? Could Kevin Durant stay as a Golden State Warrior? Could Kawhi Leonard stay as a Toronto Raptor? Possibly. Again, I think right now where we're at, as much as, yes, Denver has had a good kind of stint so far in the West. You also have Oklahoma City has done fairly well so far. LA Clippers, yeah, they're competing right now in the Pacific, and at least in the Western Conference.
They've come back, yeah.
They certainly have, but there's no guarantee that either of those teams, again, you're all looking at, again, who's got the big target on their back? It's the Golden State Warriors.
Right.
And again, the team that had injuries, dealt with it, they're still 19-9 right now.
And they're right now
19-9, and they're still probably favorites at this point in time.
They're the number 2 seed right now. They're a half game behind OKC.
Guess what? They were the number 2 seed last year against Houston, and guess what? They still won it all.
Denver has fallen from number 1 down to number 3. So this is the last time we talked.
Nuggets. They're
18-9.
They're not that Superman team. They're showing that they are mortal. And again, Nuggets,
especially on the road, they're 10-3 at home. Give them their due.
They're always good at home. We know that. Yeah. Denver Nuggets, even when they're a bad franchise, are good at the Pepsi Center. We know about that. It's what can this team do away from, and again, that's kind of the big tester. But for the Nuggets, I think they're going to fall down a little bit more of graces. Yes, it is a talented team, but once we get through the thick of, at least kind of get through middle way part of this NBA season, I think Nuggets are going to show their true colors and be a 5, 6, 7 seed. I still think they're a playoff-bound team, but I don't think they're that upper echelon team just yet.
They should enjoy it for now. The Warriors, they're 12-2 at Oracle, but they're 7-7 on the road, so they're probably, of the teams right now in the top 8, they're probably like, I'd say the 3rd worst on the road. Let's see. Clippers are the number 4 seed. Lakers have moved into the number 5 hole. Memphis number 6. Dallas 7. And Portland 8. Again, that's after 27, 28
with
games.
60 more games left.
Well, about 50 plus.
Whatever.
Over in the East, Toronto with the newly acquired Kawhi Leonard. Not doing too bad. They're 22-7 right now, holding on to about a 2.5 game lead over the Bucks. Bucks are not really surprising to me, but they're a pretty good outfit. They are actually the more dangerous team in the East. I thought it was going to be Boston and Toronto,
yeah,
but it's the Bucks. They're the sleeper.
Well, Milwaukee was that team, especially there were a few names, a few trades being tossed out early in the season of saying, well, is he going to be here? Are we moving this piece away? Milwaukee's kind of dealt with a little early season turmoil, at least per se, but they've kind of at least fought through it. Yes, I think right now in the East, it is between those two teams. I think Milwaukee has shown that they have enough pieces that they are for real, absolutely. Toronto, though, I think is going to be your Eastern Conference champion. There's nothing that tells me that team is slowing down anytime soon. They are a fantastic outfit. I think the addition to Kawhi Leonard was just enough to say, yeah, we have stamped ourselves to be the top dog in the East. Also, too, they should be very thankful that LeBron James moved out to the West as well. So, for the Eastern Conference, which is pretty much weak compared to the top two teams, I think it's Toronto's conference to win.
Well, and running down the top 8 here real quick, Toronto, Milwaukee, Philly in at number 3, Indiana 4, Celtics are 5, Detroit 6, Charlotte 7, and the Orlando Magic under the Mendoza line now. They are the 8th seed. Last year's team that was in the finals for the last 4 years.
Why do you have to bring it up?
Cleveland 6-21 right now.
Yeah, it tells you the X factor that was LeBron
Let's
James.
go out to the West, and the team that was the number 1 seed last year,
Houston.
Right now they are next to last. They are 12-14.
Yeah, guess what? They have the Carmelo Anthony curse upon them.
Yeah, but he's gone.
Well, yeah, they addressed that, but I feel like it's a full-time season curse for any team that picks him up. Go ask the Knicks. Go ask OKC. Go ask right now the Houston Rockets as they're filling the raft.
Nobody picked him up though, as I recall. Right?
It was rumored that he was going to entertain Golden State, and I would think the Warriors would say absolutely. They came out and said no, that is not happening. No team right now is really on board to pick up the Carmelo Anthony head case that he is, and I think rightfully so. He's detrimental to any franchise. He's clearly shown that for 5, 6, 7, 8 years. You could even say even all the way back to his Denver days. That he's not really good for a franchise. He kills your franchise more than anything, than adds anything to it. And I think the NBA right now is realizing that, or at least those top dog teams, those playoff bound teams, are slowly realizing that is he really worth it? Now, he might be suited for Cleveland. He might be suited for these lower down,
Phoenix.
Yeah, these pathetic teams that are in dire, at least need some sort of veteran presence. Yeah, but even then, they have no interest at this point in time. I mean, hell, even Swaggy Pete, Nick Young, he gets picked up by the Denver Nuggets before Carmelo Anthony ever got picked up by a team. And go figure. And Nick Young's kind of, he wasn't anything special.
All right, one last thing here because we got to check in on the press conference held by Alan Edwards after last night's loss.
Overtime loss.
To the DU Pioneers. You could chalk up a DU loss to go with a UNC loss this season, and both in the AA.
Yeah, and DU is not as good as Northern Colorado. DU going into that contest, I do believe, same with the Cowboys, only had 3 wins.
All right, just back to the National Football League here. This was announced today that the Philadelphia Eagles are concerned that quarterback Carson Wentz won't play on Sunday against the Rams.
My indication
because of a back injury and have told Nick Foles to be ready to play.
So I don't know where you're getting your information from, because from what I saw, at least my feeds, was that Philadelphia's pretty much said that Wentz is done, that he's not going to play, that they've already made that official. But I could be wrong on that one. But it was all indications that Wentz was not playing this weekend.
Well, and again, I got this earlier. It said Eagles coach Doug Peterson said Wentz would sit out today's practice with back soreness and tightness and would not commit to Wentz playing Sunday against the Rams. So that's what I have.
All right. Anyways, Raspy
Maybe you
Boy.
got more than I got.
Anyways, Raspy Boy, let's get to the.
All right. Well, you know,
we got to get commercial break and get to Coach Allen Edwards.
Go ahead. You don't need me. Go ahead and do it.
Well, you got to intro it because I got to push all the buttons here.
Well,
because you can't.
We'll be right back with the Allen Edwards interview after this timeout right here in 1480 KRAE. Due to our stormy season this summer, Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service is offering you a hail of a deal on a wide variety of travel trailers, including toy haulers. Get up to an additional 50% off MSRP on Jolly Rogers' already low prices. Check out their new and used inventory. Damaged or not, you can still travel in style. Call Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service today, your exclusive Jayco dealer at 634-8457. See them at 6102 U.S. Highway 30 or go to jollyrogersrv.com.
If you think the only job at a radio station is in front of a microphone, you're missing some great opportunities. KYOY and KRAE has positions in many areas, including advertising sales. Find out more about career opportunities by visiting the Broadcasters Virtual Job Fair beginning December 10th through December 14th at broadcastersvirtualjobfair.com. This job fair will provide information about jobs available in the broadcast industry, as well as specific positions here at ProShop Radio Broadcasting, LLC. You'll have the opportunity to apply for great jobs online and begin your career in Wyoming's exciting broadcast industry. Minorities and women are strongly encouraged to visit us. Cyberspace is never limited, so stop by the Wyoming Association of Broadcasters Job Fair sponsored by KYOY and KRAE at broadcastersvirtualjobfair.com.
The next time you have a craving for authentic Mexican cuisine, visit Guadalajara at 1745 Del Range Boulevard. Locally owned and operated, they serve their dishes with family tried and true recipes with the freshest of ingredients, made to order. Start off your meal with their complimentary chips, salsa, and bean dip. And if you're feeling adventurous, enjoy your favorite margarita or cerveza. Guadalajara, where the spice is always nice.
With the arrival of the Christmas season, now is a great time to look for those special holiday gifts by making a visit to Cheyenne's finest Western store, Wyoming Home, grand champion of Western gift and decor items, 216 West Lincoln Way. From furniture to dinnerware, linens, bedding, bath, jewelry, food, artwork, and children's items. The perfect holiday gifts are found at Wyoming Home, and check out Wyoming Home's unique Christmas decorations. That's Wyoming Home, 216 West Lincoln Way, in the heart of historic downtown Cheyenne.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be mostly cloudy with highs around 43 and winds out of the west at 20 to 30 miles per hour. For tonight, it'll be mostly cloudy once again with a chance of snow showers with lows around 17 and winds out of the north at 20 to 25 miles per hour. On Thursday, it'll be sunny with highs around 34, and on Thursday night, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 22.
You bleed brown and gold? So do we. Wyoming Cowboys football and basketball is always front and center on the show. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Pretty simple. You know, I told our guys rebounding and free throws was the effect of the outcome tonight. Got out-rebounded and gave up 13 offensive rebounds. Obviously, the one to tip in to take the lead was a huge one as well. And then from the free throw line, you know, 12 for what we consider 22 because we missed the front end of a couple one-on-ones. So, you know, we left 10 points on the board. But, just got to get better.
Did you ever do anything different, Coach? Did you get that, or, you know, JJ said it was a lack of focus and edge, but, you know, why do you think that was, or did Denver do something different that maybe you weren't prepared for?
No, I thought, you know, we gave them the right information. But just in general, regardless of if we didn't give them anything, rebounding is always huge. So, you know, at the end of the day, when you look at the stat sheet, and, you know, I think he's going to be a good player, but, you know, 37 minutes, Thompson didn't have 1 rebound. You know, that's a problem. Even Jake, 2 rebounds with 43 minutes. TJ, 32 minutes with 1 rebound. I mean, Maldo left the game and was our second leader in rebounds. So it was more of a want by them at the end of the day. and we didn't do our job.
You mentioned the South Carolina game. You thought that was probably y'all's best defensive effort for the whole game, and you come out and perform like that tonight. What's the issues and the consistency there from game to game?
I mean, at the end of the day, you lose Maldonado, so that's one of your experienced guys. Obviously down the body with Nye. So, you're relying on TJ as a freshman and AJ as a first-year player, and obviously Brandon and Tariq. But, it's just, like I told him, it's tough sometimes when you're communicating something in timeouts, whether it be on the board or just verbally communicating it, and we go out there and we don't execute. Yeah, I thought South Carolina was one of our better, smarter efforts, but again, we played a lot of zone. Tonight we played more man because of their ability to shoot the 3-ball. But, guys had to play a lot of minutes. JJ didn't come off the floor. Probably wasn't one of his best performances as well, offensively or defensively, or even rebounding the basketball. And he led us with 8. So.
Was it really surprising? I mean, you guys have been kind of undermanned and outsized by teams, but still battled on the glass. I mean, how surprising was it that you didn't see that battle and that fight tonight?
I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, even for me, I even got emotional there a little bit, seeing Maldonado. I mean, he's our captain. He's our leader, one of our leaders. Seeing him go down and in the pain that he was in, affected me because I know how hard he competes and how hard he wants to be out there and what he's done to get back out there. It's disheartening. Just disheartening, but I mean, the rebounding and the free throws, but in the same breath, with all that happening, you still have an opportunity to win the basketball game.
I mean, Aldo went down as soon as it's his back, and do you have any kind of early report on what might be going on there?
I mean, I went in the locker room right before I went down the radio just to check on him, and I mean, it doesn't look good. He's teared up a little bit, red eyes. I mean, again, I know how passionate the kid is. Everybody walked in, the team, just to check on him. But I have not talked to Dallas or the doctors yet to see what's going on.
Alan, you've been coaching as an assistant head coach for a lot of years. Is just the way that the beginning of the season transpired with all the injuries, the suspension. I mean, has this been maybe your most challenging year as a coach?
Yeah, test your faith, huh? It has been. And some of it you can't control, at the end of the day. But, I believe in what we're doing and how we're going about it. I believe I come to practice every day with positive energy. I think our guys do the same. I think even as coaches, we try to teach them more than just a game of basketball. We have culture classes. We try to get out into the community. Like we have a program here, but all these things on top of one another, it's tough. And, I'm not the one to sit up and blame it on anything or try to make excuses for it, but they are facts, It hurts with, what you're trying to do. Obviously, Denver had been going through some of that as well. And recently, I guess, got back healthy enough But yeah, I would say the most challenging, whether head coach or assistant, I've never been around this much injuries, even the suspension, which, you know, at the end of the day, you're talking about key components to what we're trying to do. So you have to consistently adjust things to go forward. But like I said, I mean, I think we got a good group of guys, and you know, the locker room is hurt right now. But there's more basketball to be played.
I mean, you got 9 or 10 days before your next game. I know there'll be rest, there'll be finals, you know, there'll be practice. But with everything you've gone through, could some time like this, at least between games, come a better time for you right now?
Well, it's kind of a double-edged sword because you don't want to sit on a loss this long. But you know, you try to learn as much as you can from it. You know, Naughton got cleared to work his way back in, so that's a positive note. You know, with these 10 days, maybe, possibly, ready for the Texas trip, if not Dixie, for sure. But, you know, as soon as I find out about Maldonado, I'm sure that's going to need some rest just for his body, but also his mental at the same time. You know, JJ rest, Jake rest, and, you know, we still got to get some of the newer guys more ready to play basketball. Because right now, I mean, it's just a lot of mental mistakes, even for the new ones that was out there, you know. But you kind of have to go with what you have. And right now, that's what we have. So, you know, I don't think, you know, I mean, I know my voice sounds a little down, but that's more so for the loss. But there's not any discouragement within our guys or within our staff, even within communicating to our guys. We just got to regroup and put our best foot forward as, you know, we get prepared for a conference season.
So for Jordan, is he cleared for full contact?
He's not clear. Well, he's not cleared for full contact. He's cleared to now work his way back up to full contact. So he's running. Got in on shoot around today. Did some dummy offense. We do a segment post guard split. So he got in there and pretty much got an individual in. So that timetable is more so on him and Dallas in the sense of bringing him back to contact, but probably will go through some pads first before he goes through contact.
There's everything nowadays. They share where they're eating, pictures of what they're eating. Heck, they even share feelings about what they're eating. And that's just fine, but some things you need to keep to yourself, like these new loaded nachos from Taco John's.
Taco John's new loaded nachos are a meal-sized stack of chips topped with sirloin steak or pork carnitas and creamy poblano queso.
Gather around, boys. Let's get a selfie with my loaded nachos.
Olay the day at Taco John's.
Cheyenne Urological has been the cornerstone of urinary care to Cheyenne and its surrounding communities for over 20 years, with doctors Bryant, Everett, Gajewski, and their highly trained staff providing top-quality treatment for prostate cancer, urinary tract infections, kidney stones, impotence, and incontinence. Cheyenne Urological is now offering cutting-edge robotic surgery. So call Cheyenne Urological at 635-4131 for compassionate, expert urinary care. That's 635-4131.
Cheyenne's oldest coin dealer and supplier, The Coin Shop, is proud to serve the community since 1982. Trade or sell your gold, silver, and other precious metals. Visit with David and the knowledgeable staff for a fair and honest assessment of your valuables. Located at 510 West Lincoln Way. Call them today at 778-7196 to schedule your personal consultation.
At Medicap Pharmacy, we concentrate on nothing but your medications and your health. Each location is a locally owned, full-service neighborhood pharmacy. We won't make you walk through aisles and aisles of stuff or wait in a long line. Instead, we'll always make time for you by listening, answering your questions, and explaining your prescriptions.
Medicap Pharmacy. We'll always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
We're taking Cheyenne, Wyoming Sports Talk Radio to a whole new level. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Don't look at me. I think these people are completely nuts.
Stop this crazy thing!
And it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Cheyenne Stampede Coaches Show joins us now, and head coach Neil Breen comes in and chats with us, and I do believe we'll have a player talking after Coach.
I like how you question that. Yes, we will have a player.
Well, I also like to throw that question mark here. Anyway, Coach, to the average fan, looks like you got the snot kicked out of you over the weekend. And again, we knew Ogden was a good outfit, but as the late Paul Harvey said, there is the rest of the story. And again, your team competed well, but a lot of intangibles were thrown at these young men. And I think, and you were, as we were talking off mic, this is a lesson that these young men need to learn in the Western States Hockey League, that, hey, we're not playing junior hockey anymore. Welcome to the big time.
Yeah, I mean, Ogden being the best team in the league right now, I mean, it's a big contest for us, and a big test just in general for us. And like we were talking before, I mean, I think, Friday it's a tough one. You come in, you got the road legs, and they let it, we couldn't stay out of the penalty box, and we let some goals in early that kind of dug ourselves a hole we couldn't get out of. And but the compete factor was there. We competed hard, and then Saturday we really played well.
As you mentioned, with Saturday, again, going into the third quarter, tied 3 apiece with this team, but just kind of ran out of gas, so to speak, in that contest. But, I mean, looking at this weekend series, you've already seen Ogden a few times this season.
Yeah.
At least this kind of turnaround where, again, you got wins under your belt, you got this team kind of playing a bit, at least believing into the Breener way. What were the kind of the differences? What were the positives, though, at least this time around, seeing the Ogden Mustangs?
Well, we had a lot of guys, really step up. As we talked about in the past, like we traded away Jeremy Velasquez, to acquire a little bit more staying power and get some more players in here, and and that kind of pushes the other guys to be like, okay, it's time to step up. Guys, I think we're relying on Jer a little bit for our offense, and that kind of. I think that sent a message through the guys that, we're trying to do the best by the whole team, not just one guy. And, we had a lot of guys step up over the weekend. Like, we talked before, I was really happy with, the week prior with some of our other guys like Nick Lamme, who you'll speak to soon here, and Gavin Miller really stepped up. Our new kid we got, Zach Harrison, has stepped up. And Waters is playing really well. Like, he's really sticking to our identity, protecting pucks, making smart plays, and just across the board, our guys are buying in, and like the game on Friday, I don't think is an example of that. Saturday, like you said, we held them to 3-3 going into the third, and I don't even we didn't even really run out of gas. We just we just couldn't get the chances, and we couldn't seem to stay out of the penalty box enough to get the job done. But I think we competed really hard and showed our brand of hockey in that game, and got a lot of buy-in through that.
Is it fair to say that, again, as beginning of this season to where we are now, again, yes, there are losses are gathering up right now, but again, you do have the victories. Is it fair to say that your team is miles ahead of where we were beginning this season right now?
100%. I mean, it shows. You come to a game, you watch. I mean, last year, a majority of the time we spent all our time in our zone. We couldn't even get the puck out of our zone, and that's how young and immature we were. This year, we're getting a lot of offensive zone time. We're getting a lot of power play time. We're putting up numbers. We're scoring a lot of goals. We're keeping a lot of goals out of our net versus last year. Miles ahead. And I think you'll see that on this turn. This weekend with Steamboat, and then going into Vegas, and then down to Dallas. Those are games that we can win, and those are games that we will win if we come out and play like we did on Saturday against Ogden.
Well, it sounds like, too, and again, whether good, bad, or indifferent, we're the Zebras, don't care, and you're the coach and you got your own feelings. But it sounds like when we have a lot of guys going to the penalty box, whether they're questionable calls or not, but it sounds to me that they showed an aggressive nature out there on the ice, something that again, that little spark. Unfortunately, the Zebras didn't like the way they were playing.
Yeah, no, I mean, we play a tougher brand of hockey. We're high on the penalty chart, in the league. A lot of it is frustration, and sometimes you don't get the calls going the way that you want, and there's a level of frustration that ensues, and sometimes things happen like that. I mean, we had a few things that shouldn't have happened. We had some guys react the way they shouldn't have, and we dealt with that, and they're not going to do that again. They've learned their lesson. They got their suspensions and their fines, and we're going to move on from it. I think at the end of the day, we can't allow the officials to win or lose a game for us. We got to kind of play outside of it.
Also too, and again, I've been around long enough, and I've seen some of the the BYUs of the world versus Wyoming. It almost seems like they get all the calls and we don't. I can go. I can go with that that mantra right here. But again, a team of an Ogden stature, it would seem like the crew that comes out there on the ice, they know this is a good outfit. They know they're well coached, and here comes the Cheyenne team that's been struggling, and sometimes you sit there as a coach and I'm going, golly, I mean, when are we going to catch them?
Help me out here, guys. Yeah. I mean,
does that? I mean, do you see that?
I do.
And again, even back in your. You don't have to use Cheyenne as a stopping point here. I mean, all through your career, you've seen this happen.
Oh, of course. I mean, it can go either way, to be honest. As far as my comment on officiating, I mean, it can go either way. We have some dynamite officials in this league, unbelievable guys that have pro and college experience and so on, and then we got some guys that are still figuring it out, and that's it's just like a hockey player. You're not always going to get the best out of everybody all the time, and I didn't feel the officiating was
top flight.
Yeah, I didn't think it was top flight, but I mean, at the end of the day, like I said before, I mean, you got to play outside of that, and that's something that our younger guys have to learn still, and I think we've gotten better in that sense. We took a little step down with how we reacted to the officiating this weekend, but I don't think that's characteristic of the Cheyenne Stampede. That's not something that we typically do.
It's essentially of overcoming those odds and just kind of playing your brand of hockey and just ignoring it, essentially going, hey, we got to deal with this. How are we going to deal with it? But just talking with you off air again, a lot of emotions about what the play, at least calls were this past week, and a lot of, at least, I guess the best word would be emotion. But now coming up this weekend at home, Steamboat Springs, a team that you have defeated in the past, at least they're in their home ice. You will see him coming up this week in 3-game series, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. How do you kind of take that emotion, that frustration from that last weekend series into this and say, hey, guys, let's take that emotion, let's take that physicality, and let's use it against this team.
Yeah.
We know we can beat them. Let's do it against them.
Take it out on them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think, I tend to flip the coin. I mean, I want to take that positive energy from that game. We learned a lot about ourselves this last weekend. I mean, we learned kind of, what our threshold is and how we need to control ourselves in certain situations. We also learned that we can respond in positive ways to adversity. I mean, we had a kid get hurt and there wasn't a call, and so the guys really kind of banded together to respond to that, and I want to take that kind of energy, that energy saying, hey, we're all about each other. We're going to back each other up. We're going to protect each other, and we're going to play hard for each other. I mean, we blocked more shots this weekend than we have in a long time. Like guys going down to block shots, guys paying the price to get the job done. Despite what the scoreboard was, and it was a beautiful thing to watch. And I think, going in against Steamboat, if we play like that, we play with that kind of tenacity, we play with that kind of sacrifice. I think we ride that energy against a team like that, and we start turning a couple wins at home. We start changing our mentality quite a bit more than it already has.
It kind of sounds like your team though is evolving. It's no longer a team, at least from what you're describing. It kind of sounds like the young men are now. It's almost like a tight-knit family.
Well, and they're not pacifists. They're going out there and they're trying to at least set the tone, go toe-to-toe with the big boys. And again, they knew Ogden was a top dog. Yep. But it's like, I'm not going to cower down to these guys. I'm not taking their stuff anymore. Let's get after it.
Yeah, I was proud of our effort in that sense. I mean, obviously, I would have liked to have a little bit better of a showing in the Friday night game, but Saturday, Sunday, I felt really good about where we're at as a team, and like you said, I mean, I think we've surpassed just being a team, and we're starting to see some family traits. Guys going out there protecting each other, which despite the penalties and suspensions and stuff, like it shows a lot about the guys and how much they care about each and every guy on the team.
And again, these games are filmed. So obviously, and this is where you have the owner, general manager kind of step in too. So I would venture to say the good news is all you have to do is take care of the ice. And then, of course, the business aspect, you let Mark take care of that, right?
Well, I mean, yeah. Things get reviewed and by a core of guys.
Can you appeal things too?
Yeah, you can. I mean, I think in this case there wasn't a lot we could appeal. I mean, I think like I said, our emotions took over a little bit, and we learned our lesson. I think, I don't, like I said, I'm not condoning any of that behavior. I mean, but the positive side of it is that you're seeing a lot of emotion coming through protection of teammates and things like that, which I'm not upset about. I mean, and at the end of the day, things like this are put in place so that guys, they know how to calm themselves down and act appropriately going forward. And so, yeah, I mean, but at the same time, like, I don't want to give off the sense that, I'm telling them to do these things.
No, but also, too, yeah. I would think you would have to add another page to the playbook now.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, this part, we saw this happen this weekend. Here's what we have to work on now.
Yeah, I mean, we all actually talked about it afterwards. I talked about it with the guys, and I just said, just imagine what the outcome would have been if we would have stayed a little bit more disciplined. And everybody agreed that, yeah, I mean, we should have stayed more disciplined. Probably outcome would have been a lot more positive.
And hopefully that outcome is at least more positive coming up this weekend against Steamboat Springs in town. The Wranglers, 3-game home series, 7:35 for Friday and Saturday. Sunday's matinee contest, as always, at 1 o'clock over at the Cheyenne Ice and Event Center. Again, encourage fans to go tune in. My question for you, at least final question for me, Neil, is it's a fan base here in Cheyenne is dying to see some victories. Is that kind of a little motivating factor as well, too, for kind of your young men, of at least encouragement of going, hey, this is a fan base. They're cheering you on. They're out here day in and day out, no matter what that win-loss record is like. But they haven't seen a whole lot of victories. Here's our opportunity to give back to the city of Cheyenne, essentially.
100%. I mean, they're all rallying around that now. I mean, we know that, in our next, 6, 7, 8, 9 games, we got a chance to take. I mean, we have a real good chance to take them all. Hopefully we get majority of them, and if we do that, we find ourselves right locking into third place. Getting right into third place, and and that's a position that this organization hasn't been in a while. And I think the boys are rallying around that, and that's something that we can be happy about. That's something we can look forward to, and obviously we love our fans, and we want to bring them wins this weekend for sure.
And knowing that we're going to get a chance to talk to you again, but quickly preview the showcase for us. What are you expecting out of that besides W's?
So we're looking at we're playing a CPJHL team, which is a sister league for us up north. They put together an all-star team and they bring it down for the tournaments. We're playing one of those teams, which those points count. We take that game, we get those points. We're playing 2 other teams out of our division. We're playing Wichita, and we're playing West Sound out of the Northwest Division. So, those are 3 games that, they're kind of in the same ballpark as us as far as where we're at. And, but I think those look like good. They're going to be good games, but I think, we have a great team now that are starting to rally around, the sort of the concepts that we've been talking about. And we're excited about those games. I think we can take all 3.
Just got to give him a friendly reminder because we didn't do it last week, but I think you owe GM Mark Lance a steak dinner as well, too, when we had him on, I do believe. Remember?
Yeah. Yes.
I forget the place he mentioned, but, again, he owes, at least Breen owes him 1 steak dinner, no bread, because, again, he's cut out the bread.
Yeah,
so
no bread.
No sugars.
Yep. Yeah,
I think he wanted the 96er or something like that.
Oh yeah, he's gonna rack up the bill, I guarantee it.
All right, Coach, always great talking to you, and we will catch up with you again. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be back. We'll check in with one of the players, Nick Lamme, right here on 1480 KRAE.
1480 KRAE is your home for live play-by-play coverage of high school basketball and football. Hi, this is Nick Brody inviting you to hear all the play-by-play calls of East, Central, and South football and basketball. You'll hear the conference action along with the postseason, and during the basketball season, 1480 KRAE features both boys and girls games. Catch all the exciting calls on AM 1480 KRAE, also streaming the games worldwide on the web at 1480KRAE.com.
Style and value come out strong on the newly redesigned 2019 Kia Forte. AJ Miller here for Kia of Cheyenne, and the Kia Forte has new performance improvements and technology innovations that rival the competition, and Forte is priced less. Right now, during our Light Up the Holiday sales event, you could save even more on the new 2019 Kia Forte. Compare Forte to Cruze, Corolla, or Jetta and see that the Kia Forte offers you even more for less money. Come by or go to KiaofCheyenne.com and we'll make it easy.
Bad cough or the flu got you down? Dr. Howard Willis, with over 23 years of medical experience, is now your local physician for family health and primary care. Located at 1616 East 19th Street with Dr. Joseph Dobson, Dr. Willis offers that wise counsel to get you back on the road to good health. DOTs and walk-ins are always welcome. So next time a bad cold or flu grabs you, call Dr. Willis at 631-8430. That's 631-8430.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be mostly cloudy with highs around 43 and winds out of the west at 20 to 30 miles per hour. For tonight, it'll be mostly cloudy once again with a chance of snow showers with lows around 17 and winds out of the north at 20 to 25 miles per hour. On Thursday, it'll be sunny with highs around 34, and on Thursday night, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 22.
Fat, lazy, and stupid is no way to conduct a sports talk radio show. We've thrown down the gauntlet, upped the stakes, and made it clear that when it comes to sports talk radio in Cheyenne, there's a new player in town. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Our final segment here on our Coaches Show, the Stampede Coaches Show, as we have Nick Lamme in, and Nick, one of the players. And matter of fact, I didn't get your position on the Stampede.
I'm a left wing.
Left winger. And you were born in Virginia. Now you currently reside in Omaha. Your family resides in Omaha. So, 400 some odd miles away, but at least you are kind of within shouting distance of home. So, but I guess the question is, Nick, do you get a little homesick when you're out in this part of the world?
Yes, a little bit. It's more of a drastic change from Virginia. Omaha and Wyoming in this area aren't too different.
Because you're from a big metro area, even though this is considered a metro area, and you can go down south 100 miles. I guess you could feel more at home if you were down in the Denver area.
Yes, exactly. Right.
All right, so let's talk about we had Coach Breen in here, and again the trip to Ogden this weekend. Again, 3 L's, unfortunately, but Coach saw the team get together, and I think Nick mentioned that the word family. Are you starting to feel that right now? This team is come together, understanding everything that needs to be put in play?
Oh, we're absolutely starting. starting to bond together more, and I think it's been a little bit of a rough patch so far, but we're definitely starting to come together, and you can see it. I mean, you can't really see it yet, but I think in our next 9 games you'll be able to see it.
It's certainly translated again. Hopefully, coming up this week, and we'll see a few victories here in town again, as we'll see the Wranglers. Now, for you, Nick, just kind of give us a little background. How did you get into hockey? Was it something playing Pee-wees out in Virginia? I mean, just give us a little background to playing hockey where you are now.
Yeah, so I grew up watching the Washington Capitals, and they're my team.
Yeah. As a Vegas fan, I'll ignore that, but all right.
And no, I started when I was about 7 years old, just skating, and made the transition into hockey and have been playing it ever since.
Now, Omaha, again, going from Virginia to Omaha, now here playing for the Cheyenne Stampede. How'd that go about? Is it something that you knew Neil Breen on a kind of personal level, played for Breen? I mean, how did you come out to play for the Cheyenne Stampede?
So actually, Breen coached at Omaha AAA about 3 years ago, and I played for him there. And then last year, at the beginning of the season, I played in Coeur d'Alene Hockey Academy with him, and when he came here, I followed him along.
So you're basically adjusted. You know what to expect out of the kind of Breener way of at least playing with him throughout the country.
Yeah, I've known him for a while now.
Now, does Coach kind of lean on you a little bit to teach the newer guys to the system? I mean, again, you know what's expected out of you. Are you kind of one of those guys that kind of says, hey, this is the way it's got to be done?
Yeah, I definitely. I don't have A or C on my chest, but he kind of talked to me, and I'm definitely in a little bit of a leadership role, and as we're accumulating new players, I've been really helping them out.
How old are you?
I'm 18 years old.
18 years old, so you got a couple more years left here in Western States Hockey League. Are you going to school right now?
Yeah, I go to Central High School, actually.
Oh, good. So you're a senior. I'm
a senior.
All right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So senior, are there any goals to kind of, or at least aspirations to kind of continue education into college? Are you looking as well, too, to kind of continue your hockey career in a D1, D2 opportunity if there is one?
I'm definitely hoping to play another year of junior hockey, possibly in the North American Hockey League. And then I want to go play Division I or Division III hockey.
So, you've been here in Cheyenne, and you've seen the teams. We know there's Ogden, we know there's Salt Lake, and NOCO, and, of course, you got Steamboat. Your thoughts about this Western States Hockey League that you've seen thus far?
Well, in all honesty, I came here, I didn't know a lot about the league, and playing in it, it's a lot better than people think. There's a lot of top teams in our division, and it's a very competitive league and can compete with some of the upper-end leagues, too, I think.
And I didn't want to dismiss Casper, but again, it's almost like every night that you step on, you put the skates on and you lace them up. Every night you got to be on your top of your game.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people watching our games and stuff.
And what about the support that you? And we haven't had a lot of games here in Cheyenne, but again, the crowd support that you see, especially again for a community like ours.
Oh, Cheyenne has some of the best fans in the whole league, I would say, and.
Is it something that you kind of use to kind of fuel the fire, so to speak, of saying, hey, and again, being out there at the ice at Event Center, those fans get loud, they get proud for the Cheyenne Stampede. Is that something that kind of helps you?
Yeah, they get loud and pretty rowdy sometimes. So, we definitely have momentum from them, and we try to use it as much as possible.
I've seen plenty of that rowdy crowd out there at the ice at Event Center.
I have too. I like it.
Last question for me, Nick, is we got to wrap things up here, get at least to the top of the hour very quickly. But heading into the season with the Cheyenne Stampede, obviously, again, we talked to a few players of who had goals for their at least careers or at least this time with the Cheyenne Stampede. For yourself, what were some goals that you had heading into this season?
I just want to develop as much as possible under Coach Breen, and I want to get in a playoff position where we can win, and we're actually en route to do that right now.
Simple enough. I was going to say one last question as well, too.
Unless you and I are on the same page here.
Well, I got to ask him again. Capitals fan. We always ask who's favorite player. Who do you look up?
It'd be Ovechkin.
It would be Ovechkin, but as the way I play, I would look up to Tom Wilson.
Okay.
He's a physical power forward, and I love the way he plays.
So, with Washington winning their first Stanley Cup.
Don't
last year,
remind me.
Oh, no. I mean, that's kind of a big deal because Washington, similar to the baseball team, was always there, but never could get over the top. So, obviously, that's a – I'm assuming you've seen a few Caps games in your lifetime.
Yes,
so, I guess that was a pretty big thrill, especially being a fan of the Capitals.
Oh, yeah. It was one of the best moments of my life for sure.
So again, too, like Nick mentioned, if you get that opportunity, do you want to go? I mean, do you see that one day in your life if I get that opportunity?
That is always the dream for me.
Yeah, and again, it's just like any other sport. Only if you can make it. Good luck to you. We appreciate you stepping in.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Nick Lamme joining us here on 1480 KRAE. We got to wrap things up now. Again, high school hoops tomorrow ×2.
Yes,
with South girls, South boys at the Greeley West tournament, and we have Greeley West back to back, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then we will have.
And again, that game, at least for the girls, will get underway at 6 o'clock. Men, or at least boys, underway just after that game wraps up 7:30. Pre-game with myself and Chris Bolton, 5:40-ish here on 1480 KRAE. So listen for that. Again, first high school hoops opportunity for us this season.
And then back to the JUCO on Friday as we'll pretty much wrap up 2018 in the rack.
Well, yeah, at least in the rack. I was going to say we have one more basketball game after that, or at least contest, as we'll see Kelly Walsh in East. But
I'm talking about
anyways,
the JUCO side. All right, so anyway, we're going to wrap up our program here tonight. It is a Wednesday. That means we still have another night coming up, or tomorrow we might kind of.
Yeah, it might be pushed back to 9.
All right, so tonight, our regular time from 8 until 10, it will